Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you having a great Tuesday. Hope all of you having a great start to your week. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. College football has a big problem. That may be understating it. Some may say a massive problem. I'm okay with that. And I think it's becoming an even bigger problem because other people out here, especially people in the media, they're starting to pick up on it. I wouldn't say things are starting to get exposed. That's not the right wordage. I think a better way of saying it is things are getting brought to light. And when things get brought to light to the public, the higher-ups, they don't like that, and they got to make a change. Which with this situation we're about to talk about is good because it needs to be changed. Probably sitting there wondering, Matt, what in the crap am I talking about? I'm referring to this coaching carousel going on. And no, it's not just having to do with Lane Kiffin, although he's the main subject at hand. It's involving everybody with Florida, LSU, Arkansas, Penn State, the list goes on and on and on. But guess what it also affects? The playoffs. So not just the coaches, not just these teams and programs, the players. We're going to be talking all about that. Also, we have another, I guess you'd say, problem or dilemma on our hands with where game day's going this weekend. Everybody and their mama's talking about it. They're clamoring, and they are not happy. Wouldn't call it a jam-packed video, but we got two what I'm going to label as pretty important topics we're going to be talking about. You already know we are on the road to 400,000 subscribers. We're getting closer by the day, so if you're not subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing, helping us get a little bit closer, but let's get straight into it. Let me start out by addressing this. I don't want to talk about it too long, but I've had so many of you sending it to me on Twitter. By the way, if there's anything you want us to talk about in a video, all you got to do is tweet it to me. It's the same as the YouTube channel, but as you can see right here, College Game Day announced a couple days ago, see you in Atlanta for the SEC Championship. If you don't know what that means, they're going to the Alabama versus Georgia Bulldogs game, aka the rematch. I've said this before, I will continue to say it. Whether y'all believe this or not, that's up to you. I couldn't care less where game day goes. I don't watch it. I'll turn it on in the background occasionally, but that's the most you're going to get out of the MBG household ever since I've grown up, and ever since, ironically enough, because when I was growing up, I was starting this YouTube channel, getting into the, I guess you'd call it the media industry and whatnot. I slowly but surely stopped watching College Game Day. This isn't some hidden secret on the channel either. I've said this numerous times. I don't watch other people talk about college football, college basketball, anything we talk about on the channel. I don't watch other people talk about it. One of the last things I want to do in my free time is when I get done speaking about college football, editing college football videos for 90 to 100 hours a week, is watch other people talk about it. So that's why I don't care about College Game Day anymore, where they go or whatnot. But I do understand there's a lot of people that do care about it, and they want game day to go to their school's game. And everybody's wondering why they're not going to the number 1 versus number 2 game, Ohio State and Indiana. That doesn't make any sense. As you can see right here, this tweet, it was somewhat going kind of viral. Absolutely disgusting. The Heisman Trophy on the line, referring to Julian Sain and Mendoza. That's a good argument. 12-0 versus 12-0, or 11-1 versus 10-2 for the second time this year. Well, here's your problem with this argument. I wound up, did I quote tweet? Yeah, I quote tweeted on Twitter. I'm just going to read it off word for word. 12-0 in the Big Ten isn't a great argument. That conference sucks. Also, you can say 1 versus 2 all you want. More people will watch Alabama versus Georgia than Ohio State versus Indiana. Therefore, much bigger game, end of conversation. And yeah, that is the end to this conversation and debate, at least in my humble opinion. Whatever argument you have for going to the Ohio State-Indiana game, it's getting debunked by this one right here from your boy Matty B. Great. More people are going to watch Alabama and Georgia. Much bigger game. To go back to this, when I say the Big Ten sucks, you're going to have your Randeezes in the comments saying, well, Matt, we got 3 top 10 teams. We got, or, dude, you can't be that dumb. I'm talking about for the vast majority of the conference. Yes, the Big Ten, every single year, I'll give you credit. You have 3 to 4 really good / great teams, but outside of that, you have nothing. And Indiana and Ohio State are by far the top 2 teams in the nation. By far. But to sit up here and act like it's a bigger game than Georgia, Alabama, come on now. For years, this has been known as the game in college football. And I know Alabama's dominated the rivalry and whatnot, but you can't miss an Alabama and Georgia game. It's must-see TV. Have you ever heard anybody say, oh yeah, I gotta watch Indiana? Not really. I'm sure that's gonna ruffle some feathers, but like we say on the channel, it is what it is. I gotta give you my honest opinion. Whether you like it or not, that's up to you. Let's move along here though to the main topic of the main encore. Main reason you clicked onto this video, the main reason I made this video. College football has a huge calendar problem. It is awful. It is abysmal. Let me start out by showing you this. I think David Pollock wound up tweeting out something. I thought I had it say. Oh yeah, I got it say right here. But before I get into that, we have got to fix this. Not even just like in the next 3 to 4 years. It needs to be fixed ASAP. We don't need something like this to happen again next year. And it could happen. But let me show you this. Lane Kiffin isn't the enemy here. The calendar in college football is. So, see right there, he's saying it. Not even just me. It's an absolute joke. Fix this crap, NCAA. Playoffs, National Signing Day, transfer portal, all within the same month time frame. Just straight stupid. His words, not mine. And that's the part of all this that everybody's forgetting and I low-key forgot about. Signing day, unless I'm highly mistaken, isn't it this week? Wait a minute, I think it's tomorrow. I could be wrong on that. Somebody double check me in the comment section. I know we talked about him a lot, but it's because it's the biggest topic in all of college football. Been one of the biggest topics I've covered in the history of this channel. I don't understand. Well, you know what? Okay. Matty boy. Hey, Matt, you do understand, so don't say that. Let me retract that statement. I do understand why people are upset, but there's a part of me that, what's the best way to say this? How do I word this? Okay, I got it right here. I don't understand why others out here that hate Lane Kiffin for doing what he did don't understand. Kiffin is not at fault here. I said this when talking about it a couple days ago. I will say it again. Kiffin did not want to abandon ship. He did not want to leave this Ole Miss football team. Keyword team, I didn't say program. Yes, he wanted to leave the program in the future and be the head coach at LSU. He wanted a better job. I know, right? He's such a bad guy. He wanted to make more money and get a better job. See, what's funny about all that is not even 99.98, 99.99, if not 100% of you watching this video, but there's going to be an outlier. There always is. If somebody were to present you with a better job, meaning you're going to make, we'll say $75,000 extra a year, better benefits, better health insurance, better everything, better school, just everything you can name. If they were to offer you that, you wouldn't even think about it as long as Kiffin did. You say, okay, where do I sign? You'd leave your job that day, then and there. But since Kiffin did it and, you got diehard fans that are upset he left his favorite team, you can't look past Ole Miss being your favorite team and going, oh, no, this was a good decision for Kiffin. I can't blame him. You're just upset and you're reacting emotionally and go, nah, screw this guy, F this guy. I mean, come on now. We had all these people showing up to the airport booing him. Like, dude, he doesn't even know your name. Y'all acting like it was some easy peasy decision for Kiffin to abandon this team. Kiffin's entire life mission is to win a national championship. And this was his best shot at getting it. I mean, he is in the playoff. He's 3 to 4 games away from accomplishing that. Ole Miss has never been to the playoffs. And he had no choice. I mean, they forced his hand. He had to make one decision. You either go to LSU and have a better chance at competing for championships year in or year out, or you risk it this year and stay at Ole Miss knowing in the future you're not going to be as fortunate as you would be at LSU. And that's just reality. Long-term wise, and that's how he's looking at it, in the next 10 years, you have a better shot of winning multiple championships at LSU than you do at Ole Miss with the NIL, transfer portal, just everything going on in the modern era. But since the NCAA has this wackiest of whack calendars with the transfer portal, with National Signing Day, the playoffs all just crambled in together, it's a hot mess, and it puts guys like Kiffin in the villain role. Now, does Kiffin enjoy being the villain? Yes, he likes it, but this time it wasn't by choice. And it's not even a Kiffin thing. If you want to say, well, Matt's just taking up for Kiffin, well, you got John Sumrall. He's interviewing for new jobs and talking to Florida. He's already accepted that job in the midst of a Tulane playoff run. And it really is a simple fix. It's not that complicated. Move back signing day. Period. The end. Also, the transfer portal's got to be moved back a little bit. And the one argument everybody has with that is, well, Matt, the kids that get registered for class. Dude, shut up, nerd. Don't even act like these schools, LSU, Ole Miss, Alabama, all these playoff teams, these young men that are on the football team care about academics. Just shut up. I'm not doing that game. None of you care about what your star quarterback makes in Algebra 2 class. So don't even act like it. I did see a good question from Connor Hughes on Twitter. Shout out to him. I'm not a huge college football guy. Well, fortunately for you, Connor, I am. But why can't Lane Kiffin both take the LSU job and coach out the playoffs for Ole Miss? Why does he have to leave right away? That is a fantastic question. I'd love to answer it. The reason Ole Miss gave him an ultimatum, the reason Ole Miss gave him a proposal of, no, you cannot accept the head coaching job at LSU and finish out this year with our current team, is because of this reason right here. Let's say for the sake of this video, Ole Miss goes, all right, Lane, you can do it. You can be the head coach at LSU, but finish out this season at the same time. And Lane Kiffin's like, all right, that's great. Thank you so much. We're going to try to win a national championship. That's like having an enemy in your own office, because you have the head coach at a rival school within the same conference coaching your team and program. Also, recruiting's going on. So you know what Kiffin's going to be telling all these guys? Hey, I just accepted the head coaching job at LSU. In other terms, he's not going to be recruiting for your team. He's going to be recruiting for LSU. I can't dumb it down any more than that. If you don't understand it, I don't know what to tell you. So no, I do not blame Ole Miss for doing what they did either. No way I let an opposing team's head coach at that point in time recruit our current players to leave with him, poach him in other terms, and also poaching the current recruits that are about to sign to Ole Miss. It sucks, it does, because you'd like Kiffin out to finish what he started and finish this year and try to win a national championship for your program, but you gotta look at the bigger picture from that standpoint as well. I'm looking at the comment section. Here's a great analogy. Would you let your recently ex-wife's new boyfriend drive your car? We all know the answer to that. Heck to the no. Best analogy you're going to see all day, and probably one of the best analogies we've ever used on the channel. I have a dumb question I'm trying to learn, so you got a lot of people just confused, and I respect that, and I believe there's no such thing as a dumb question. Why are people mad at Lane Kiffin for leaving Ole Miss? I understand being upset, but if a coach is offered more money and a bigger program, I think you mean to say at a bigger program, wouldn't any coach take that opportunity? I'm definitely missing something here. Well, Miss Annika, I hope I'm saying your name correctly, Anika, however you say that, you're not missing anything. Welcome to real life. What do I mean when I say that? What do people do when someone's achieving something? Chase after their dreams. They hate on them. It's simple. Let's not overcomplicate this. Lane Kiffin had a good job, but what he did is he worked hard, he improved his resume, got offered an even better job, and accepted that. There's not a problem with that in the business world or work world, but in college football, there is. Yet again, I'm going to divert back to this. I'm not going to act oblivious to the situation, act like I don't understand why fans are mad at this. It's because you're attached to the head coach and you don't want him to leave. I get that. But here's my one rebuttal to that. Let's say you work at Coca-Cola. You're a manager there. You've been grinding your butt off for 4 to 5 years, and we're just going to say that's your job title. You're the manager. Manager of the sales team, the line, manufacturing, something like that. And you do a good job and you're getting paid $90,000 per year. At least where I live, that's a decent chunk of change. Well, Pepsi reaches out to you, not to say that Pepsi's better or worse than Coca-Cola, but they offer you the same job, same health benefits, same everything, but they increase your pay from $90,000 to $130,000 per year. Since LSU promised Kiffin $25 million per year in NIL revenue, we'll say in this analogy that's equivalent to more paid vacations, more paid time off. I think we can all agree, if a company offered us $40,000 more per year with more vacations, more paid time off, whatever you want to call it, we're all taking that. And I want you to think about this. Imagine people being upset with you taking that. That's what's happening here with Lane Kiffin, whether you want to believe that or not. Kiffin is not the bad guy. He did not want to leave Ole Miss. I don't know why people can't understand that. But the NCAA, with the way they've got all this set up, they made him look like the bad guy. That's my 2 cents on it. I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts down below. But